I'm not going to show any skin in this video because I want you to focus here, right? Eyes up here. And I want to talk a little bit about the lore in League of Legends. I think it's really well done. I think it's great, actually. Ignore the game. The gameplay has absolutely very little to do with the lore. The lore, the stories, and the world of Runeterra is excellent. And there's even a couple of comic books. I think Marvel might have released them with Zed and how they team up with Shen in order to kill Jhin. Really great story. I made a video on my channel about Pyke. You should watch that as well. And with that said, I don't know whether they hired the new guy that is now really deep into social justice, or some of the previous writers have converted to the ideology, because the recent Tales of Runeterra Noxus cinematic is absolute garbage. Like, it is such a major difference and drop in quality that I have decided to make a video about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I have nothing if a particular person wants to have some social justice vibes in the story. But I think in this particular video, the politics go first, the story comes second, and the story suffers a lot from it. So, if you're not familiar, the beginning of League of Legends had Demacia mostly as the good guys and Noxus as the bad guys. And Demacia was this kingdom of righteous and law-abiding citizens, while Noxus was this kingdom of complete anarchy where it's only the people with power that manage to get into the top. It was very similar to Skaven society. However, as the time moves on, we notice that the people at Riot wants to, I guess, make these kingdoms a little bit more complex. And now Demacia is a little bit of hints of tyranny here and there, where the law is what it is, but the punishments are very harsh. And on top of that, they have this distrust towards mages. There's a lot of phobia towards mages, which is quite warranted in a world where mages almost destroyed the entire universe. So Demacia is now like meh, you know, filled with racismus and whatnot, and now Noxus is trying to be portrayed as this powerful force where, okay, we're against nobility, we're against names and titles. It's all a meritocracy. Like, if you are able to get to the top, then you deserve to be to the top. But in a world with mages, obviously the mages are going to be at the top. And again, like, I don't have anything against if you want to create a society in a fictional world where you say, all right, they hate the nobles, they hate ranks, they hate bloodlines, even though it's a medieval society. And basically the way it worked is that someone needs to farm the land while other people need to know how to fight. But okay, like that's fine. But look how poorly it is implemented in this video. We're presented with the conquest of Noxus on Urtis. I bet this is one of the cities at the outskirts of Freyjord. So, a minor kingdom, right? So if the enemy has breached the throne room, the war is over. The way it works is that the king will actually move the capital the moment the enemy army reaches that capital. So if the enemy actually reached the throne room, it means the king already moved the capital so many times where there's literally like no place to move it anymore. And now the enemy is at the gates. That means that the kingdom's armies are completely crushed, or they have surrendered. There's literally no more point in fighting anymore. But I guess the story wants us to believe White King evil. White King so bad, so stupid, and so incompetent. And you're going to see levels of incompetence that are so surreal, it completely breaks immersion. And even in a story setting, I'm not going to believe it. Like, I would rather believe the fact that you have a demonic possessed scarecrow than a king that is so unbelievably stupid.
It is over. We have the city. Surrender your crown. End this bloodshed.
The crown is mine by birth, granted to me by my royal blood, as are these lands and my subjects.
You no longer have subjects. Today, they become citizens of Noxus.
Alright, so at this point I assume that the story is for kids? 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds, definitely not teenager level. Because if you're not going to kill the king, or make him swear fealty, this clearly means that he is going to be a potential figurehead that will start uprisings in the territory. He's going to... like, if an empire does this with everything they conquer, there's going to be rebellions everywhere, because literally every single king is going to rise up the nobility and those that are still loyal to him and fight out against Noxus. But I guess like the ideologue is that Noxus is so much preferable than the old ways that people are just going to give away all their traditions, all the way they do things, and see the wisdom and the light into the social justice that Noxus brings.
Rejoice at the end of kings. Noxus offers freedom and fortune for any strong enough to take it.
Returned to me by a slave.
And it's at this point where Pepsi flew through my nostrils, and I bursted out in laughter, because initially I thought that she's part of the royal family. I thought that, you know, she's going to do this, and the king will be like, please forgive her, she's being stupid, do not harm my daughter. But no, apparently she's a slave. Why would a slave risk her life in order to bring back the crown to a king? Why does she even know how to fight? Why is the king so obsessed with the crown when he lost the war? Like, surely a king cannot be this dumb. Surely a king cannot be this stupid. If such a king would exist, he would either be backstabbed by this point, he would either be replaced by someone more competent, like the people would have risen up against him. He literally doesn't have a single soldier. He is unwilling to fight, and yet here he is. It's like, oh, you brought the crown back to me. Oh, what are you going to do, Darius, now? Oh, checkmate. Oh, what are you, Noxians, going to do now? You took the crown away from me. Now I have it back. Nya, 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 nya. This is the level of storytelling that people who have their brain on social justice are writing.
Unworthy even to touch it or stand in my presence. Don't you see, Noxian? The gods return the crown to me. End this bloodshed? No. The kingdom is mine. Or it is a graveyard. Show them, girl. Die for your king. Go!
No.
Insolence!
Natural selection would have taken care of this kingdom long ago. Darwinism awards would have been given to this king long ago. Like, he's like, oh, if you don't do this, it will be a graveyard. Like, motherfucker, you're sitting with the enemy general in your throne room. You have no more men. Like, there is no way he can back this threat. And then the slave girl, which brought the crown, the diversity lady, which brought the crown back to him, now refuses to fight. Well, what is this all about? Like, why did you even bring the crown to him in the first place? And when he sends you to fight, you go, no. What was it to torment the old man, you sadistic bitch? Was this what you were going with all along? It's like, oh, I'll give him the crown, but then I will refuse to follow his orders. He's going to be so confused, just like the viewer. And then, right, the king obtains the Darwin Award. Like, he knows Noxus values strength. He knows that this little slave girl managed to bring his crown back, and he probably saw, like, Darius going, no, leave her. And now he's going to threaten her in front of Darius. Yeah, I'm sure that will work out.
Kings demand you kneel before their heirlooms and unearned titles. Noxus wants you to stand, so you can be reforged in a glory shared by all.
League of Legends. Angry Chica edition. It's kind of funny, like, she's not like, alright, I want to return to my family, you know, the one that I've been taken from before the slavery thing happened. Like, no. I'm just going to pose here and look angry. It's just so bad. My God, you know, like, again, I'm not against making propaganda against monarchy, feudalism, you know, aristocracy. Hierarchy in general, like, this is what they're basically wanting to push, right? Hierarchy bad. All right, fine. But make it believable. What is with this cartoonish thing? Like, again, if you compare this cinematic, the Tale of Runeterra, with all the other cinematic, literally everyone is better. Like, the drop in quality is so astonishing. And it's, I guess, like, every single time I see Hollywood or Netflix or any Western-based company or influence company trying to show, oh, look, Angry Chica is strong, they need to make literally every person around the Angry Chica look like an absolute moron. Like, that king would not pass an IQ test. It's, you know, I don't think you can fail IQ test. You can just get low IQ. Well, that king would have definitely failed. So yeah, I just had to criticize this. But you know, maybe I'm off on my criticism, and you guys tell me, did you get excited about this animation? Did it inspire you? They're like, oh yeah, Noxus, rah rah rah. Because to me, I would rather read the lore of Swain and the character biography of Swain and be like, oh yeah, you know, Noxus is really cool. And you read about the Pale Woman, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, the Black Rose, la la la. Yeah. This is absolute garbage. Garbage tier.